The King's Son and the Ogress, Part 2. Then the sword-bearer came forward and bandaged his eyes, and bearing his sword, said to the king, "Have I thy leave to strike?" Whereupon the physician wept and said, "Spare me, so God may spare thee, and kill me not, lest God kill thee." And he recited the following verses. I acted in good faith, and they betrayed. I came to naught. They prospered, whilst my loyalty brought me to evil case. If that I live, I will to none good counsel give again. And if I die, good counselors be cursed of every race. And he said to the king, Is this my reward from thee? Thou givest me the crocodile's recompense. Quoth the king, What is the story of the crocodile? I cannot tell it, answered Douban, and I in this case, but God on thee spare me, so may he spare thee. And he wept sore. Then one of the king's chief officers rose and said, O king, grant me this man's life, for we see not that he has committed any offense against thee, nor that he has done aught but cure thee of thy disorder, which baffled the doctors and sages. Ye know not why I put him to death, answered the king. It is because I believe him to be a spy, who hath been suborned to kill me, and came hither with that intent. And verily, he who cured me by means of a handle held in my hand can easily poison me in like manner. If I spare him, he will infallibly destroy me, so needs must I kill him, and then I shall feel myself safe. When the physician was convinced that there was no hope for him, but that the king would indeed put him to death, he said to the latter, O king, if thou must indeed kill me, grant me a respite, that I may go to my house and discharge my last duties, and dispose of my medical books, and give my people and friends directions for my burial. Among my books is one that is a rarity of rarities, and I will make thee a present of it, that thou mayest lay it up in thy treasury. And what is in this book? Asked the king. Quoth Douban, It contains things without number. The least of its secret virtues is that if, when thou hast cut off my head, thou open the book, turn over 6 leaves, and read 3 lines of the left-hand page, my head will speak and answer whatever questions thou shalt ask it. At this the king marveled greatly, and shook with delight, and said, O physician, will thy head indeed speak to me after it is cut off? And he answered, Yes, O king. Quoth the king, This is indeed wonderful, and sent him under guard to his house, where Douban spent the remainder of the day in setting his affairs in order. Next day, the emirs and viziers and chamberlains and all the great officers and notables of the kingdom came to the court, and the presence chamber was like a flower garden. Presently the physician entered, bearing an old book and a small pot full of powder, and sitting down called for a dish. So they brought him a dish, and he poured the powder therein, and leveled it. Then he said to the king, Take this book, but do not open it till my head has been cut off, placed on this dish, and pressed down on the powder, when the blood will cease to flow. Then open the book, and do as I have enjoined thee. The king took the book and gave the signal to the headsman, who rose and struck off the physician's head and set it on the dish, pressing it down upon the powder, when the blood immediately ceased to flow, and the head unclosed its eyes and said, Open the book, O king. Yunan opened the book and found the leaves stuck together, so he put his finger to his mouth and took of his spittle and loosened them therewith, and turned over the pages in this manner, one after another, for the leaves would not come apart but with difficulty, till he came to the 7th page, but found nothing written thereon, and said to the head, O physician, there is nothing here. Quoth the head, Open more leaves. So the king turned over more leaves in the same manner. Now the book was as poisoned, and before long the poison began to work upon the king, and he fell back in convulsions and cried out, I am poisoned. Whereupon the head repeated the following verses. Lo, these once were kings who governed with a harsh and haughty sway. In a little their dominion was as if it ne'er had been. Had they swayed the scepter justly, they had been repaid the like, but they were unjust, and fortune gorned them with dole and teen. Now they're passed away, the moral of their case bespeaks them thus: this is what your sins have earned you, fate is not to blame, I ween. No sooner had it done speaking than the king fell down dead, and the head also ceased to live. And know, O Afrit, continued the fisherman, that if King Yunnan had spared the physician Douban, God would have spared him, but he refused and sought his death, so God killed him. And you, O Afrit, if thou had spared me, I would spare thee, but nothing would serve thee but thou must put me to death. So now I will kill thee by shutting thee up in this vessel and throwing thee into the sea. At this the Marid roared out and said, God on thee, O fisherman, do not do that. Spare me, and bear me not malice for what I did, for men's wit is still better than that of jinn. If I did evil, thou do good in accordance with the adage, O thou that dost good to him that does evil, the deed of the evildoer sufficeth him. Do not thou deal with me as did Umama with Atika. And what did Umama with Atika? Asked the fisherman. But the Afrit answered, This is no time to tell stories, and I in this duress. Let me out, and I will tell thee. Quoth the fisherman, Leave this talk. I must and will throw thee into the sea, and thou shalt never win out again. For I besought thee and humbled myself to thee, but nothing would serve thee but thou must kill me, who had committed no offense against thee, nor done thee any ill, but only kindness, in that I delivered thee from duress. When thou didst thus by me, I knew thee for an incorrigible evildoer, and know that when I have thrown thee back into the sea, I will tell everyone what happened between me and thee, and warn him, to the end that whoever fishes thee up may throw thee in again, and thou shalt remain in the sea till the end of time, and suffer all manner of torments. Quoth the Afrit, Let me out, for this is the season of generosity, and I will make a compact with thee never to do thee hurt, and help thee to what shall enrich thee. The fisherman accepted his proposal and unsealed the vessel, after he had taken the Afrit's pledge and made him swear by the Most High name never to hurt him, but on the contrary to do him service. Then the smoke ascended as before, and gathered itself together, and became an Afrit, who gave the vessel a kick and sent it into the sea. When the fisherman saw this, he let fly in his clothes and gave himself up for lost, saying, This bodes no good. But he took courage and said to the Afrit, O Afrit, quoth God the Most High, be ye faithful to your covenants, for they shall be inquired of. And verily ye made a pact with me, and swore to me that ye would do me no hurt. So play me not false, lest God do the like with thee. For indeed he is a jealous God, who delayeth to punish, yet lets not the evildoer escape. And I say to thee, as did the physician Douban to King Yunnan, spare me, so God may spare thee. The Afrit laughed and started off inland, saying to the fisherman, Follow me. So he followed him, trembling and not believing that he should escape, and the Afrit led him to the backward of the town, then crossing a hill, descended into a spacious plain, in the midst of which was a lake of water surrounded by 4 little hills. He led the fisherman into the midst of the lake, where he stood still and bade him throw his net and fish.